Hey everyone, have you ever stopped to think about the paper you use every day? Your books, your notebooks, even the cash in your wallet. It's everywhere. But where did it all come from? Well, let's travel back in time, almost 2,000 years ago, to ancient China, to uncover the story of one of the world's most important inventions. Before paper, writing was a real challenge. In China, people wrote on all sorts of things. They carved characters onto bamboo strips, which were super heavy and bulky. Imagine carrying your school books if they were made of bamboo. They also used expensive silk, which was light but way too pricey for most people. There had to be a better way, right? Enter our hero, a man named Xi Lun. He was an official serving in the court of the Han Dynasty around the year 105 AD. Xi Lun wasn't the very first person to ever make a paper-like substance, but he was the one who perfected the process and made it practical. He's credited with inventing paper as we know it, and his method was so ingenious it changed the world forever. So, how did he do it? It was a messy but brilliant process. Xi Lun and his workers would gather materials like tree bark, old fishing nets, rags, and hemp fibers. Basically, things that were cheap and readily available. They would chop these materials into tiny pieces and boil them in a huge vat of water for hours, turning everything into a thick, soupy pulp. After the boiling, they would mash the pulp into an even finer consistency, kind of like making a smoothie, but with wood and cloth. This broke down the plant fibers completely. Then came the really clever part. They would dip a flat woven screen like a mesh frame into the vat of pulp. As they lifted the screen out, a thin watery layer of pulp would be caught on its surface. The water would drain through the mesh, leaving behind a delicate, matted sheet of interconnected fibers. This fragile sheet was then carefully moved onto a flat surface to dry. Sometimes they would press it to squeeze out more water and make it flatter and smoother. Once it was completely dry, voila! A new sheet of paper was born, lightweight, affordable, and perfect for writing. Xi Lun presented his invention to the emperor, who was incredibly impressed. This new paper was a game changer. Suddenly, knowledge could be recorded and shared like never before. Books became cheaper to produce, literacy rates began to rise, and administration of the vast Chinese empire became much more efficient. Government records, classic literature, and new ideas could now be spread far and wide. For centuries, the art of papermaking was a closely guarded secret in China. But secrets like this are hard to keep forever. The technique eventually spread along the Silk Road. By the 8th century, it had reached the Arab world after a battle where Chinese papermakers were captured. From there, it traveled to Europe through Spain and Italy, finally reaching the rest of the world and fueling renaissances and revolutions and knowledge everywhere. So, the next time you jot down a note or turn the page of a book, take a moment to appreciate the incredible journey that simple piece of paper has been on. It's a story that started with a brilliant court official in ancient China who was just trying to find a better way to write things down. His ingenuity truly shaped the world we live in today. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more dives into history. See you in the next video.